I don't know how it happened, but, I somehow just recorded an entire episode of Pixelmon, and I only got 3 minutes worth of it. Because apparently my recording shut off 3 minutes into it. So on that note, I guess I should say this is episode 2 of Pixelmon? Kind of? Welcome everyone to Pixelmon. It's Austin here, and I don't exactly know where to start because I have to now explain everything that I missed. So I guess I should start off with saying, welcome back. And if you don't know what this series is, it's basically Pixelmon within Minecraft. If you haven't checked out the first episode, please do so. If you guys are excited for this series and want to see more, hit that like button to show your support. And okay, first things first, everything has been changed around. We've added a few more mods in. We've added in the Iron Chest mod and the Inventory Tweaks mod. Both mods I reviewed before in the past. If you want to check them out, then just search them on my channel. You will find them. Following that, we have made a furnace and we have made an anvil. This anvil is made for crafting Pokeballs. As for this hammer, this iron hammer in my hand right here is also made for crafting Pokeballs, as you can see. Also, furnace is cooking up a ton of iron because we went on a mining trip. We got a ton of resources. As you can see, we have iron, lapis, crystal, ruby, sapphire, and silicon. Following that suit, we are still poor. We have absolutely no food. And we caught a level 19 Magikarp. How we caught a level 19 Magikarp? We caught one Great Ball, went into our backyard, which is apparently filled with Magikarp. And we caught this Magikarp. So, if you want to see his stats, as you can see, he's got increased defense, lower speed. He's a relaxed nature. He's just a runt, which means he's very slow. Small. If you have not seen my Chimchar's nature, he is bashful, which means he has nothing increased or decreased, which is kind of okay. He's small as well. I'd like to get a giant Pokemon. I like the Pokemon when they're giant, not when they're tiny, because when they're tiny, they're not intimidating. I mean, look at these guys. Magikarp looks normal size, kind of, but look at Chimchar. He's so tiny. Also, what I talked about, the episode that was cut off. Basically, we encountered a boss, did not kill it. So I won't go in detail about that unless we find another one. What else? We opened a lucky block. We only got these bow and arrows right here, which I was saying we honestly do not need because we we're not going to be killing anything. We also marked a mine down on our it's not really a mine shaft, but just like a cave area down on our waypoints, as you can see right here. We still have the Pokemon and the Ivy Gym that we need to go to later on in life. We will be able to. And all in all, we just are pretty organized. So I guess what we can do this episode, since it's kind of like episode 2.5, kinda. We're just gonna be training up our 2 Pokemon we have already, because I don't want to just create Pokeballs. I'll show you guys again how it's done since you didn't really see it. So I need all these materials. Get this iron out of here really quickly. I just need to cook up 1 piece of stone, just so I can show you, because that needs to be made to a button. And we already crafted the Great Ball disc and the iron disc, which again, really quickly, I will show. It has. Here's basically how it's made. The Great Ball disc is produced with 2 cooked blue apricorns and 1 red blue apricorn. You get 2 Great Ball discs like that, and the iron discs are created with 3 iron. You get 5 of them. As you can see, we only have 1 and 4 because we already made one, and this is needed to be turned into a button. Now what you do is you take this animal, you right click the disc on it, as you can see it's right there, and you hold down left click with the hammer. Of course, the worse off the hammer, the worse it's going to be in terms of making this. I know the diamond, of course, does the best. But you basically just hold down, left click, and it produces these. Of course, I will be doing all this off camera, at least until we get our automatic anvil, which I will just show again, which is this guy right here, the mechanical anvil. He is made with iron bars, a sticky piston, and a furnace. We need the sticky piston most of all, which means we need a slime ball, which means we need to kill a Pokemon that can drop slime balls, which means we need to find a swamp. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, so just bear with it. So how you make a Pokeball is you take a button, you take an iron base, and you take a Great Ball lid. You put it in there, you got a Great Ball. So this is, of course, the same catch rate as a normal Great Ball is in Pixelmon Hello Firo. Honestly, I would not be too down to catching that right now. So, what is this level, Firo? Come here, Firo. I need to check your level. I can't run or anything because I don't have anything to run with. I also was saying, in the cutoff of this episode, I was saying if you guys still want me to have like a Pokeball like starter kit, like in the normal Pokemon games, there's just always that you get like the running shoes, you get some Pokeballs along with your starter. I just got the starter, so if you guys still want me to have like a few starting Pokeballs and running shoes, please do comment down below yes or no. If not, next episode I'm just going to make the decision for myself. But I guess since we have a Great Ball, I might as well catch another Pokemon, right? But I just don't want to chuck it at something, and our Magikarp can only use Tackle. So that being said, this episode we're just, like I said, going to be training. So we would like to find a few grass types that are within my Charmander's reach to fight. And looking at everything around, there's nothing really he can fight. Also, let's look around a little bit for any things we want to mark waypoints to, because we need to find a few new biome areas, because all Pokemon spawn by biomes, so you're not going to see the same Pokemon in a plains biome that you would see in, let's say, an ocean biome. Or like a jungle biome. It's all going to be different. So each new biome that we find is actually like a treasure trove of new Pokemon. Currently right now we don't really need to worry about that because we only have two. A Magikarp and a Chimchar. And their powers aren't as good as we would like them to be currently. That being said, if we find any Pokeloot on the ground, just like in the game, we can get any random item from Pokemon, which will probably also be beneficial to us. Looking around currently, oh, let me just grab some coal right there. It looks like there was a forest fire right here. Oh, Chimchar, you can fight this. I forget what this Pokemon's called. This is called a Swaddle. Alright, use Ember. And as you can see, Chimchar has leveled up a bit. He now has the ability to use Ember, along with a few other techniques. And I do apologize for the whole video not working thing. There's nothing I could really do about that other than just look, I guess, to check to see if I'm recording. And here's another Swaddle right here. Come here, Swaddle. Not Pikachu. We don't want to fight Pikachu. Pikachu too strong. Ember. There you go. You one-shotted him. Now my Chimchar is level 10, which is perfect. I hear Pikachu in the background. So, in regards to this episode, it's not going to be as lengthy as it was originally because of its reason, which I do, again, apologize for. Also, I will say I did tweak the spawning a little bit more to make more Pixelmon, aka Pokemon, able to spawn in. Well, that's a mossy rock right there. Used to evolve Eevee into Leafeon. But, yeah, so more Pokemon will spawn on land and in water. I mean, just look at that Magikarp patch. Magikarps everywhere, which reminds me, I do need to kill another Magikarp, so come here. I'm just going to use Scratch on it, and Chimchar learned Taunt, which is interesting. I do not know what level he evolves into Monferno, but I'm sure it will be soon, and we will actually have a decent Pokemon. So I've killed that Magikarp, and he has bestowed upon us Clownfish, which I am now going to consume rapidly because we need as much food as possible to stay alive. If I find any Miltank, I'm slaughtering them because they drop steak. And steak is probably the most valuable thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I am in the presence of a very small flower forest, which I'm not counting, but this is a birch forest. An interesting biome because I don't believe we have a waypoint to that. No, we do not. Interesting. Birch forests are where Eevees spawn. Not to mention like bee drills and such, and I also see a swamp biome. So I think until we find a bigger one, I'm going to set a waypoint here. I am going to call this Birch Forest. Done. And moving onward, I think we also just found a swamp biome, which is perfect as well. And once I actually get into grinding out the different biomes, I will, we'll say, evaluate them to my liking. We will remodel them a bit. Because we don't like all these trees and hills and such getting in the... Holy crap. I forgot in 1.10 they made trees a lot taller. I'm not used to the birch forest being so birch foresty in terms of like length. But is this what I think it is? Oh, I know that thing drops a This Pokemon right here, I know that drops slime balls, but it's way too strong for me to attempt to fight. But that's not what I'm looking at. There's something else right here. This is a Pokeloot. You see that little particle thing floating in the air? There's actually an item right here, which I kind of need to get above to be able to access. So I'm just going to mine up right here. Right here, there's actually a Pokeloot, which I need an open hand for. So if I right-click this area, we found a Tauga berry. Don't know what it's for, but anytime I get a berry, I always just chuck it on one of my Pokemon, just to see if it does anything for it. Normally the berries either increase like health or some stat moves or EVs or something in any kind of emergency situation. Is that a Gligar? It's a Gligar. Alright, oops, did not mean to throw my hammer on the ground right there, but I'm also going to set a waypoint here. Call it Le Swamp. Swamp right there, and I organize all my waypoints off camera. Everything that involves like organization I like doing off camera, just because like when I'm on camera it's more of a like you're just trying to enjoy content. You don't want to see me like fixing anything, organizing anything. If we get into the top of that mountain biome, we can also waypoint up there. And I went over it in the first episode, but I'm just going to say it again, legendaries spawn biome specific as well. So I'm not going to see an Entei spawn in a swamp biome, is what I'm trying to say. They can spawn like, trying to give an example, Celebi. Celebi can spawn in only flower forests. Venonat. But yeah, they only spawn in flower forests. What else? Lugia only spawns in the deep ocean biome. Hello, Yanmas and Venomoths. I wouldn't mind getting a Yanma actually. But hello Paris. But I don't know. I have one Great Ball, so I can catch something, but I don't know if I want to because I already caught something technically this episode. Holy Wheezing. If you guys see the giant Wheezing over there. No, that's not a boss. But bosses are normally bigger than any other Pokemon. Moving onward, I also see a Graveler over there. But I think I did perfect with my spawn. I increased the spawn so much there's too many right now. But this is honestly what it would be like in a regular Pokemon game. Like everywhere you walk there's Pokemon. Every like tall grass area you enter you encounter a Pokemon, so it's about the same. But people always say like it's easier, like it's harder on crap, we're dying. I hope we won't die from starvation being on normal mode. I guess we'll find that out in a few seconds. Let's see. Am I gonna die? No. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. So as long as I'm taken to half a heart, I can't die from starvation, we're fine. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you'll notice Pixelmon is almost a direct representation of any other Pokemon game. However, hello there, Pupitar. That thing is very dangerous and strong. But however, you'll notice there's differences. One, you can actually see the Pokemon that are spawning, and therefore you can specifically target which ones you want to capture, kill, whatever. So encountering shinies are a whole lot easier because you can actually see them. In Pokemon, in the normal Pokemon games, you're walking through tall grass, there might be a shiny right next to you. You'd never know because you'd have to hit that specific tall grass to even encounter it. Here, it's kind of like you're just walking, you're like, oh look, there's a shiny right there, let me just target it. So that's really the main difference. Other than that, Pixelmon and the Pokemon games are very much alike, at least up to the 4th generation in terms of Pokemon spawning. Just think of it that way. Not all the legendaries have been incorporated yet. Same with all the different like Pokemon that exist. There's only 600 out of the, I believe, 900 Pokemon right now added. However, that does not... Is that a muck? That is the smallest muck I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, my point is, think about this as regular Pokemon in terms of everything that functions. Just picture it as normal Pokemon. That being said, it's very annoying whenever you can't really fight anything because of your lack of levels right now and lack of strength ability. However, that does not mean that we are not able to catch something. We still have one Great Ball, and if a legendary spawned right now, I would cry out of frustration because there's no possible way I could catch a legendary. Legendaries, of course, can be caught with like Dusk Balls, Quick Balls, Ultra Balls, the works. I've even seen Great Balls before. I've actually used Great Balls in the games before to catch Legendaries. However, we're gonna wait until we have a Master Ball to even attempt it, or that other. I think it's called a Park Ball. Yeah, it's called Park Ball. Either of those two. And again, we have to kill bosses to get those. So, that being said, I will go in detail about bosses next time we encounter one. I do apologize. We did go. Well, I guess I should say I did go over all that stuff, but again, video recording wasn't working, and yeah. So that's a thing. However, but again, don't worry. We'll go over in due time. You'll learn all about it if you don't know it yet, and if you do know about it, then bear with it. Is that Savannah? No, I'm looking for Savannah. What biome? We live in a plains biome right now. I have to remember that, so anything that isn't a plains biome, I should probably mark down on my waypoints just so I have it. But when I find a biome, I want a big biome to explore, and you'll understand why in the future. But currently, right now, like small biomes, I can't mark or shouldn't mark down just because there's no point in doing it. I won't get anywhere. I'm also collecting a few apricorns right now. Again, I don't want this episode to be a half an hour. I think it's funny because I record a half an hour episode, didn't even work, so I don't really want to re-record, because it's kind of like filming 2 episodes. The progress is still increasing. I can't really go back on the progress that I made in the episode, or in the parts that weren't recording, so that's still there. Is that what I think that is? I just saw something hopping around over here. If that's what I think is, that's a pretty strong Pokemon to spawn in the wild. It is, Breloom. If you guys don't know, Breloom is, I forget what generation, it's either 3rd generation or 2nd generation, I think 3rd. He evolves from Shroomish, but his attack styles are just insane, because he's like a fighting grass type, or fighting poison type. Anyway, he knows all like the powder moves, like Sleep Powder, Poison Powder, Stun Spore, all those. He knows fighting type moves, and he knows grass type moves. He's honestly a really balanced thing. The reason why he's coming towards me right now is he's trying to fight me, but I would not be not down to trying to catch this guy right now. But again, I kind of don't want to, because that's too much progress for one episode, so I'm going to hold off on it. Breloom, I'm sure we will encounter you again in the future. And I'd also like to evolve him from a Shroomish anyway. It's kind of like a... Well, that happened. I think that's... oh, we spawned back at spawn because we don't have a bed yet. Teleport to home. Alright, on that note, let me just organize all our stuff right here. I'm keeping the Pokeball on me, of course, at all times. And I guess you can kind of look at all the different stuff we've acquired. Let's take our iron out of here, which we have cooked up. Throw that in there, and dirt will go in the blocks chest right there. On that note, everyone, I guess I'm going to wrap up the episode here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit that like button to show your support. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Pixelmon content like so, or any other Minecraft modded content. And comment down below what your favorite Pokemon is, I guess, in any of the generations. Just comment down below which one your favorite is. And if it's something that is not in the game yet, I will actually comment back saying that it isn't, because most Pokemon are in this game. If I hit I right now, where is the I on my keyboard? If I hit I right now, as you can see, it goes all the way to 649. But if there's a Pokemon that honestly isn't in the game, I will know and tell you if it isn't, because I'll kind of feel bad about your favorite Pokemon not being in the game. But do not worry, and check back next week for the next episode of Pixelmon. Thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.